The pre-dawn calm of the southern Red Sea, near 6:30 a.m. local time, was deceptive. High above the volatile waters, two U.S. Navy MH-60R Seahawk helicopters, call signs Lancer 71 and Lancer 72, carved watchful circles. Launched from the carrier USS Eisenhower and the destroyer USS Gravely, they provided aerial overwatch for a naval task force escorting commercial traffic. The patrol had been quiet. That was about to change violently, unseen by the Seahawk crews lurking near Hodeidah, Yemen. For Houthi fast attack boats had fixed their sights on a prize, the Singapore-flagged container ship Maersk Hangzhou. Steaming under U.S. escort, suddenly the quiet shattered. Guided rockets and streams of machine gun fire erupted from the low-slung vessels, slamming into the merchant ship roughly 55 nautical miles from the Yemeni coast. The Houthi plan was audacious. Drawn from Iranian asymmetric naval doctrine, swarm the larger vessel, board rapidly using overwhelming close-range firepower, and seize control before effective help could arrive. They carried PKM machine guns, AK-47s, and RPGs including potent Taba 14 thermobaric variants capable of punching through steel, far thicker than the Hangzhou's hull. Each boat bristled with militants, coordinated in real time via Starlink terminals relaying data from coastal spotters and command nodes. It was a calculated, coordinated strike, but they hadn't counted on the airborne guardians. Aboard the Maersk Hangzhou, the embarked security team from Trident Group reacted instantly as the boats closed within 6 nautical miles. Taking up defensive positions, they opened fire with them for rifles and an M40 machine gun. Their courage was undeniable, but their firepower was outmatched and outranged. They managed to damage one attacker, but the other 3 pressed on relentlessly. Within minutes, the small boats would be alongside, ready to board. An RPG round screamed past, missing the ship's vital superstructure by a mere 3 meters. A hit there could cripple the vessel. The security team was moments from being overrun. A desperate distress call went out. Lancer 71 and Lancer 72 responded immediately. Cleared hot, the pilots slammed their throttles forward, the Seahawks accelerating to 160 knots, eating up the 26 nautical miles separating them from the besieged freighter. Calculations were stark: 9 minutes to rival. The security team's desperate defense had bought them precious time, forcing the Houthis to pause their boarding attempt around 600 meters out, to continue pummeling the ship with RPGs. By 6:39 a.m., the Seahawks screamed overhead, just a mile away, using the sophisticated and APS-153V radar, switching modes to cut through sea clutter, employ moving target indicator (MTI) to differentiate solid targets from waves via Doppler shifts, and finally inverse synthetic aperture radar ISR to build high-resolution images. The pilots confirmed the hostile contacts. For Boghammer-style fast attack boats, closing fast, unmistakably hostile. It was time to let loose. As the Seahawks positioned to engage, the Houthis made their final mistake. At 6:40 a.m., PKM machine gun tracers lashed upwards, flashing past the helicopters, some rounds passing dangerously close within 15 meters. The response was immediate and overwhelming. The Seahawks descended sharply to 150 feet, simultaneously deploying clouds of MJU-6 EP flares burning at 200 degrees Celsius and RR-180 chaff bundles preemptive defense against any potential heat-seeking missiles, though none were detected. Then, the sky erupted with American firepower. At 6:41 a.m., Lancer 71's door gunner locked onto Boat 1. The GAU-20 1.50 caliber machine gun roared 3 devastating bursts of mixed armor-piercing, incendiary, and tracer rounds. The heavy slugs punched through the engine block, igniting fuel cells. A fireball blossomed, sending debris skyward as the boat disintegrated and sank within 45 seconds. Before the first boat vanished beneath the waves, Lancer 71 pivoted. Boat 2 was lined up. A short burst disabled its rudder, followed by a sustained 3-second spray that ripped into the hull. Steering lost, the boat listed violently, flooded, and capsized. At 6:42 a.m., both helicopters converged on Boat 3. subjecting it to a withering crossfire. Dozens of .50 caliber rounds punched holes below the waterline. The crew's attempts to bail were futile. The vessel slipped beneath the surface. By 6:44 a.m., 3 Houthi boats were gone. The Seahawks turned their attention to Boat 4, but witnessing the swift, brutal demise of its companions, the remaining attacker had turned tail, trailing smoke as rounds peppered its hull, retreating northwest. The Seahawks, mission accomplished in protecting the merchant ship, did not pursue. In less than 7 minutes, roughly 1,800 rounds had been fired, 3 attack boats sunk, and a hostile boarding decisively thwarted. But for the Houthis, the ordeal was far from over. This unprovoked attack demanded a stronger response. U.S. Central Command decided mere self-defense wasn't enough. A clear message needed to be sent. Within 8 hours, the USS Gravely steamed along the Yemeni coast. Her 5-inch Mark 45 mod for naval gun roared to life, unleashing 92 rounds of high-explosive and airburst shells onto known Houthi coastal radar sites. At Jabal al-Tair, al-Muka, and Ras Isa installations used to guide previous attacks. By sundown, these vital surveillance nodes were silenced, significantly degrading Houthi maritime awareness. The retribution continued. On January 1st, 4 FA-180 Super Hornets from VFA-131 launched from the USS Eisenhower. Their weapons, a GM-15 for Sea Joint Standoff Weapons JSOW, each carrying a 500-pound Broach warhead designed to penetrate hardened targets. Their target, the Al-Dailami Missile Warehouse. At 6:43 p.m. local time, the JSOWS struck home. Multiple secondary explosions rocked the complex. Intercepted communications confirmed the destruction. 18 KSEF drones for Nur anti-ship missiles, guidance kits, and significantly, 2 Iranian advisors and 12 Houthi operators eliminated. The message was unequivocal. The United States would not only defend maritime traffic, but would actively retaliate against the sources of aggression, striking back harder to ensure such attacks would not be repeated with impunity. The rules of engagement in the Red Sea had demonstrably changed.